Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft episode on this gift of a day. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm here with little Giovanni. He's taking a snooze under the table on this wonderful summer day in the afternoon. It just says siesta to him, I think. And so, what I want to talk about today is, we are definitely clutter junkies in this country, and maybe even acquired more things during the pandemic with all the Amazon buying we did, or maybe not. Maybe there was also time to get rid of stuff. I don't know, but anyway, it's our nature in general. It's the nature of many of us to just not keep tabs on that stuff. We just keep bringing it in, just not paying attention, not noticing. And so it's a great rule, and summer is a great time to try most things, not everything, obviously. But the days are longer. We've been talking about it. Beautiful weather, and the fresh veggies are in season. We're using the grill, playing little soccer in the backyard or bocce ball or something like that. And it's just a really good time to kind of get rid of stuff and give it away. Make piles, give it away, throw it away. So buy something new, let something go. Bring one thing in, let one thing go. So I was recently at my St. Mike's College reunion, which I had an absolute blast. That was just 2 weeks ago. And I actually got on a topic. It wasn't me who brought it up, though, come to think of it. It was a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in a long time. And he has since downsized. He's an early retirement person. We're only in our late 50s, and he has been retired for military. So good for you, fantastic. And so he and his wife are having a grand time, and they're doing like some small business stuff, like because they're both smart and creative and stuff like that. But mostly they're pretty much their time's their own. So they take this little itty bitty pole camper around the country and all over the place. I think up into Canada too. And we had this talk, and he's so happy. He just seems so content. And we had this less is more discussion, and he's actually living it. So they sold their house. They just got rid of a lot, and they spent a ton of time. And he showed me a picture of it. It's small, and they just keep it very, very neat, very feng shui, and they're loving life, traveling around doing that. But so that led into the discussion of even we are in no way ready to. We both love what we're doing. We're not in any kind of shape to do that. But my friends started talking about just even in your house, just like get rid of basically anything that doesn't have a purpose, doesn't bring you joy, really. And so this is something lots of people talk about. And I'm forgetting the woman's name, was very well known. Her name starts with an M. Anyway, she's talked about this for a long time. And Richard Carlson, I've been on a jag with him too lately. He's been talking about it too. And Richard Carlson, PhD, author of Don't Sweat the Small Stuff series, he says that the rationale for this concept of buy something new, let something go, um, is derived from the almost universal tendency to fill our homes to the brim. This seems to be an issue for people regardless of income, the size of their home, geographic location, race, or religion. The problem is that overcrowding can create a great deal of stress and frustration in terms of knowing where to put things and where to find them. I have to tell you, this is true, and I am a thrower, but I'm married to Ratatouille, and I love him dearly. He likes to keep everything. So I'm constantly trying to have balance with that, but it's also a time issue. When you're both going full tilt, it can feel like Mount Everest to take on one room if it's gotten cluttered. So I get that. And then Richard Carlson, PhD, says feeling closed in can also have a negative impact on your psyche, making it easier to feel stressed and irritable. That is so true. So one big thing there is that it's easy. When we clean up a room or a car or something too, the mental benefits, in addition to just having the space, for me, my mental health is it can I work hard at not letting it as much as possible, but I just feel like I can't breathe or something. I don't know, but it affects me mentally. And then when everything's all open and free, I feel better. And I remember also way back in St. Mike's, if I had like 95 tests coming and 46 papers, rather than take all that on, I go clean my car because it felt like a sense of control. When I felt out of control, it gave me a sense of control. And so we can really gain some autonomy. It's a stress reducer. It feels better once the clutter's gone, stress wise anyway, but the actual act of getting rid of stuff is stress reducing because it brings a sense of closure. When there's a sense of closure, there's a release of dopamine, which makes us feel good, which is why when we finish a paper or a project at work or whatever, we feel good about it. It's also something Adderall does for those of us in the Fast Mind Club who happen to be procrastinators. That's the only symptom I don't have. But for those who are procrastinators, our dopamine deprived brains don't get that closure fix as easily. So Adderall also does that. It can help fast minders with procrastination. So Richard goes on to say that the truth is most people fill up their existing storage space to its absolute capacity. Why do we do that? It's kind of this unconscious thing. I'm just saying that. So if you have two closets in your apartment, each of them is undoubtedly full. If you have three, they're probably full as well. Regardless of how much storage space any of us has, we seem to find a way to fill it. And of course, this would be okay if we never again bought or received a single new item that takes up space, but alas, this is surely not the case. Most of us are constantly taking in new and used items on a consistent basis. The question is, where do we put it all? What most of us do is rearrange existing stuff. I definitely do that. Right now, actually, as we speak, which is what I'm doing this episode, so I'm staying in alignment with what I'm saying because I'm not a do as I say, not as I do person. Our bedroom, which is usually good, and not lately because we've been going full tilt. I have like these little piles on either side of our dresser that just need to be gone through and go. And so I'm going to start small, probably this evening, and take a bit of my own advice here because I'll feel so much better. So Rich is, so rather than get rid of things, we try to reorganize. We move piles around like it's like manana. I'll do it later. We just don't seem to want to take the time to sort through stuff, throw stuff away. Giving stuff away even takes longer, right? Because you gotta find somewhere to give it and package it all up and bring it there. Blah 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 blah. And that all seems like so much of a chore that I think that's many. Even if we're not consciously thinking all of this stuff, that's what's happening. And so it doesn't get taken there, and we join the club, ratatouille of the pack rats. Oh, I'm totally remembering what my friend and I, how we got to this conversation now. We were sitting outside the St. Mike's bookstore, and he bought a new sweatshirt. That's where it started from. He's like, no, I'm going to have to get rid of one. I said, what? He said, well, I just bought this new swag, and now when I go home, because we've feng shuied, he told me, I think his wife has two shelves or two dresser drawers, I forget which exactly, and he has one, and they've really worked hard to get rid of, a lot. They're living a very minimalist life. He said, since I have this new thing, I'm going to get rid of the old thing. And that's how we got into this conversation and he went on and on about, you have no idea what this will do for you mentally. I mean, it's amazing. And he said, I can't even tell you. It's easier to clean. It takes far less time. They don't spend it didn't sound like they spend much time cleaning. Obviously, scrub-a-dubba cleaning is different than picking up. I guess they're two different things. But if you don't have much stuff, there's not much to pick up and organize, right? So really the solution to this, after you do that initial feng shui sweep, which really, at least for me, like I said, I'm going to deal with those piles today because I feel like I need to, having this podcast talk, and plus I know I'll feel better. To do steps, because if you, just like writing, chapters in a book, we've had that talk before. If you think you're going to save a whole Saturday and get like half the book written, probably not going to happen. Maybe you'll get lucky and that'll happen, but probably not. So it's best to just plan to write something and make some progress. And so, if you start with a sock drawer. And so you get to a place where the room or the closet is completely feng shuied. The next thing is to make a promise to yourself. And if you've got a partner, or you've got kids old enough to understand, teenagers, young adults, or you've got a roommate or whatever, somebody that they're able to get it though. You make a mutual decision and then swear by it, a vow, a promise. To each new item, unless you want to just do clothes, but probably items is better because that covers the whole thing. You break, you bring in a new wine glass, you get rid of another one. If it's sweatshirts like my friend, or knickknacks or whatever, one comes in, one goes out, and that's it. And then after you feng shui it should really stick, as long as you adhere to your promise. And so that's it. That is it. Buy one new thing, let one go. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the gorgeous northern Vermont on a beautiful summer day. Have a mindful, mindful, mindful day.